designate areas as oceans, and we've had people referencing the Southern Ocean, mostly scientists, for a long time. So it's not necessarily a new thing, but it's big in the news because National Geographic put out on World Oceans Day, I think, like June 8th maybe, that they were putting the Southern Ocean on their maps. And I've probably heard of National Geographic, really big map maker in the world. So for them to decide that they're putting it on the maps is a big deal. And it was making me think map making's kind of interesting, actually, right? Like, a lot of the times the map will change for some sort of socio-political reason, right? Like when Czechoslovakia split into the Czech Republic and Slovakia, that changed maps. Or when, what was it, Swaziland changed its name to Eswatini. Am I correct on that? You can correct me in the comments if you need to. But, those are all political reasons. A country is determining names and boundaries for oceans. I mean, they're not owned by a country. There's no political border there. Say this is the Southern Ocean. So it's a map maker's choice in a lot of ways. Even if scientists, think that it should be that, they also take into account how, the public uses ocean terms. And it's kind of interesting because no one's going to be in the Southern Ocean. It's not like you're taking a boat ride there unless you're heading to Antarctica. But even the exact boundaries are apparently not fully agreed upon by all map makers or countries. I guess Australia, anything south of their continent, is considered the Southern Ocean, but a lot of other people use a specific parallel. Man, I want to say that I was reading a few articles, was it the 64th? That seems not right. Maybe. I'm not great at geography, but they, I'm gonna add a second stick of gum, just that a little time has gone by. Get back to my maps in a second. one's pretty accurate. I haven't sized it. It's more accurate, certainly. So that's nice. But just in general, I was like, wow, map making is pretty cool. Like, it's one of those things. I guess we don't use maps too often anymore. If we do, it's for, it's on Google Maps or something on our phone trying to get directions somewhere. But I think they're still important. Just, you always think of these resources like maps or dictionaries, things like that, as these almost neutral references. I think they try most of the time to be as neutral as possible. That's a goal, but when you as a person make something, it's really inevitable that it's not actually that neutral. You have to word things a certain way in a dictionary. You have to choose what words go in it. A map, you have to pick, again, what goes in the center. How do I distort it if I'm making it flat? How do I, fill all of these needs of what I'm making and still be neutral about it? So I think it's not something we talk about often, but it's still there. So I guess I've been thinking about maps a lot. What would this new map behind me, and then reading about the Fifth Ocean. It's been kind of fun, interesting. But actually, speaking of dictionaries, I'm kind of getting on a soapbox here, but I actually really like that they add things like slang to dictionaries. I think that languages change, they develop words that people used to use we never use anymore. We've created so many new words as well. Now sometimes they seem old, but at one point were new in slang. That to just ignore them because they're not proper English or what you learn when you're growing up. It's just ridiculous. The thing that's great about a language is that it changes and it just evolves over time. And to actively try to stop that is crazy to me. I don't agree with it. So generally speaking, I think dictionaries do a good job making sure that if you hear a word that's used or written, and slang words are out there, they're being used, you might want to know what it means. Then, if it's entered our lexicon, if it's past a bad stage, I think it's great that we can actually look it up in a dictionary. It's serving the purpose it's meant to, where we don't know something and you know where to go to look up its meaning. So, okay, sorry about that. Getting off of my soapbox now. Speaking of which, why is that a phrase? For someone to be on a soapbox. I get the general idea that, flip a box upside down, stand on it, think above other people, telling them all these opinions. But why is it a soapbox? Why not a vegetable box or something else that's not a soapbox? I'm not even sure what a soapbox specifically looks like, let alone why that is specifically part of this phrase. Or even, when did this phrase come about? Were people surrounded by soapboxes all the time? Or was there a specific event? Or where is that from? I love learning the origins of different phrases, expressions. There was a game I played a I'll be talking about it with someone and I'll refer to like one of the main characters, like, oh, that blonde girl with the gun, or whatever, some descriptive factor, because I don't know the names, and my friend's like, Kato, come on, we just watched like 25 episodes in 2 days and you don't know the character's name. How did you miss that? I just do. I'm okay with book character names because I have to actually read the names, but at the same time, I kind of glance over it in my speed of reading. Like, I'll recognize who it is. Usually